Welcome guys, my name is Matthias and welcome to the ultimate base building guide for 2020. Now before we get started, I've never done this, but guys, this has taken us quite a long time. I am going to showcase 3 different base designs for you, and the one that you are looking at is not one of them, okay? The reason that I don't build large bases is because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I don't really like building a base that's unraidable or a block base or any of the designs that you guys are used to seeing in Miscreated. So I have planned different builds for quite a long time, but we have got 3 different builds that we're going to showcase for you. The first build that we will showcase is Avenger, one of my clan members, Death Star. That's what he calls it, and that is basically as unraidable as you can get. And in the comments below, some of you will say that, just a bunch of towers is maybe the best way. But when it comes to something that you can still be proud of, okay, Avenger has been the king on the server for a very long time, since he's never really been raided once. So his base is focused on defense, okay, for you to use as much C4 on the base as possible. And we will go through his thoughts while building his base, and maybe you guys get a few tips. We have discussed a lot of ideas. I've given them a lot of ideas. They've given me a lot of ideas. And the second base that we are going to showcase is Anthony's base, which is a very good middleman, okay, to base defense and something that is very nicely utilized for vehicles. And, something that you can still have fun with. But the reason I'm going to tear down this base, and this is the only reason I'm showing you this base, I'm going to tear down this entire base. I've changed the design about 5 times. That's why I haven't uploaded for a week. I have torn this base down, and I'm not getting to anything that I'm happy with because I'm so full of shit. Okay, so the only reason I'm showing you this base is just to show you what I've done, that you don't see the final design and go, there's no way you spent a week on this. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the base before I tear it down. Okay, this is about the best side of the base. As you will see there, I want to put down sandbags there. There are windows there. There's a nice double garage here for single vehicles. And as I'm going to show you now, if I just pull it, I've got my cop car here, I've got my police SUV here, and then I've got some space for like a quad. I can drive the quad in here and park the quad here. So this is the only garage that I'll have at my final design, okay? And then when we go in here, there are people on the server, but I don't care. So this is the compartment that I go through here, and then I can get into my workshop here, okay, where I do all the work. This is my safe room that's completely protected by metal walls. Here I've got my loot room, okay, because we've stacked these crates perfectly. It keeps the roof in place, that the roof doesn't fall down. And on my server, the 0x4x4 roof, if you upgrade it with sheet metal, it's just as strong as a metal wall, so that you can, build the safe room. Normal work area here. This is where I wanted to make like a kitchen area. Okay, I wanted to make a kitchen area here. I wanted to make some kind of decoration with paintings and everything here. This would have been my room, okay? Would have made my room here with a lot of space. Again, not really focusing on base defense. And then if we go out here, we can get onto the roof. This would have been the best, the relaxing area of the base, where I just put like camo netting around here, with a barbecue and some chairs, that we can just have a chat up here, or like fight days up here where people can fight each other and we can spectate them from above. This is the idea I had there. And then this is my double garage, which I'm going to show you a much better design that I helped Anthony with. Okay, so there's that outside area. Can't remember if there's a door, but since I'm packing up the entire base, so yeah, I wanted to put sandbags, you know, just another viewpoint where you can see a lot more and snipe people. And then what I've already done is I packed up I packed up most of those floors. Okay, this is my double garage where I park the vehicles. But again, at Anthony's base, I will show you the best iteration of that. Okay, so yeah, you will see the double garage, and I'll be explaining all the thoughts that we were going through. Okay, all the base designs. You guys can leave a bunch of comments down below, which I will answer for you with various ideas, but we're going to give you a lot of ideas. The reason I'm packing up this base is because this base at the moment, doesn't matter how I play around with it, it's still too close to Anthony's base, and it still focuses a bit on defense. You know, it's like in between Anthony's base and Avengers Death Star. Okay, so it's between having space, making it feel like home, and then defense, which I didn't want to do. The biggest thing I want to show you guys in Miscreated is if you forget about base defenses, it will still take about 20 or yeah, between 30 and 40 C4s to get into my base when I'm done. But the biggest thing for me when it comes to perfection is creating a base that's visually stunning. Okay, now stunning is a very strong word, but I'll try and create a base for me that is so aesthetically pleasing that my biggest form of defense is that people don't really want to blow it up. Hopefully you guys like me enough if you come onto the server that you don't blow up my base, because I will show you where my loot room is, and then you can just focus on the loot room. Okay, but I'm going to make a beach house for you guys, and I'm going to show you all the various options you have with the beach house. Okay, so now that you've seen how I've played around with the base design, I had foundations all around the base, and I wanted to put towers on all four corners, but it still ends up being a generic build. Okay, it doesn't matter how you play around with your windows and your design, it still ends up being a different kind of block base. Okay, even though I've got nice spacious rooms, you still end up focusing a little bit more on defense than you focus on aesthetic, you know, visually pleasing. So yeah, I'm gonna pack up this entire base. I'm gonna move it down the beach, okay, closer to the bridge, and then I'll show you exactly what you can do with some creativity to create a base that is visually stunning and creatively pleasing, if you ignore, you know, how many C4s it's going to take to get to your loot room. But we are going to have an interview with Avenger. We are going to have an interview with Anthony to go through the ideas. And if Miss Charm wants us to show her base as well, we can do that. And if any of you think you've got something much different to offer, then please, in the next video, I will come and look at your bases as well, and we can showcase your base as well. But it must be something completely different, you know, to what I've showcased, that we can show people what is possible with Miscreated's building, base building. Although the snapping system is frustrating and you need quite a lot of experience, you know, to understand exactly how to get past certain frustrations, we're going to take you through all of that. So before I skip to where my beach house is completed, please click that like button and that subscribe button, and leave as many comments down below as you guys can with questions or ideas, you know, so that we can show people what is possible with this, and that this can finally be the ultimate base building guide, you know, instead of the last base building guide that I did, which even I wasn't sure what it was about. But anyways, guys, see you guys down. And like I said, please click that like button, the subscribe button, the bell button, and very importantly, leave a comment down below with any thoughts. you know, so that we can spread the word and let people see various ideas, so that they can have some pleasure in grinding, because you definitely have to grind. You can see all my base parts are still wooden. I have to, like, you know, go hit iron ore for a day long, or melt down 3,000 sheet metal to upgrade this entire base. So there's a lot of grinding in it. But I want to show people that the grinding is worth it when you use creativity. So remember what I asked, and see you guys now. Okay guys, here we are, 2 weeks later, not five minutes later, 2 weeks later. Yeah, so I moved my entire base. This base design had a few challenges because of the slant that you guys see here on the sand. Okay, the slant over here made the entrance for vehicles quite difficult. But yes, I won't give this design a 10 out of 10 for visuals, but yeah, maybe a 7, maybe a 8. But the main thing that I want to showcase here, guys, is all the things that you can use in Miscreated when it comes to base building, and that you can really create a warm home for yourself. You know, whether it takes a lot of C4 to raid you or not, you can really create something that you like to come back to. Okay, so over here is one kind of design for a garage that takes an armored vehicle. Okay, it won't take a 5-tonner, but we know how the garage door works with a 5-tonner. Okay, so this is the design for armored truck. I'm still going to put up those 2 walls there, but it's a bit of a skylight, and this is basically, I don't even need to upgrade this. This is just so that people can't throw grenades in here to destroy the vehicle. If they want to get the vehicle, they have to use 4 C4s basically. And one day, you know, I can bring metal walls here so that they have to use 16 C4 to get into the garage. That is one way to cover the armored truck. I can park another vehicle in here. You know, I can stop a quad here at the back. So it's a nice utilization of the garage. And I've already got the metal gate and the metal gate house. Okay, so the next obvious step will be to drag metal walls here to make sure it takes 16 C4 to get into the garage. And then yeah, struggled a bit with this, but me and Avenger put our heads together, you know, to get this kind of design here to drive in here, which is nice. Then I've got the little bridge leading to my base, and again, upgrading your bridges helps a lot with a bit of cover. Okay, then I've got the little bit of warm entrance here. I've got a light there in the window, but at night it looks, especially with the new walls, you know, the wall type 2, the more lights you add, the more warmth it creates with the color of the wood. Okay, it gives you a very, very nice effect with that. So I can just stop my quad out here. Inside here, I can park 2 vehicles in here. There's my cop car. It moved somehow, but yeah, I'll fix that later. So here's another space for a car. And then I've got the door there that I can exit from. And yeah, let me show you guys what you can do. So here's the warm entrance. I can just have a seat here, you know, on my porch and cook some meat. I can add more chairs there. Then we've got my working area over here, where I do all my, you know, melting and everything. Just basically random chests. I'm probably going to remove these 2 crates when I've micromanaged my loot, because I have got quite a bit of junk down here. But yeah, this is basically the work area, the 2 furnaces and the fireplace to melt iron ore and pirate and stuff like that. And it's closed up with the shutters, okay, so no one can kill me. But I mean, yeah, if I'm not worried about that, I can open the shutters, which is nice. So this is the working area. Here's my safe room, okay. There's the safe room inside there. And I still have to get 2 more metal walls to complete this safe room over here. And then we can go up here. And this is basically just the in-between area Yeah, I put a few paintings in here, nothing major, just showcasing for you guys all the paintings that you can get. I didn't include the ugly ones in my, the ugly ones according to me. This is my room. With the Halloween items, the teddy bear, the rabbit, the the lights that you can make when you pick up those lights. And yeah, the nicest paintings I put inside here. Here's a shelf here where you can place stuff on. So this is my room. This area here is just the top of the safe room with the upgraded roof, so that you have to use 16 C4s to get in here. And this side of the base is basically just to see everything, okay? To basically cover my base on this side. I might make a tower on top at some point so that I've got a sniping tower to cover the entire, my base. Here's the door to get into the garage. And I wanted to put my planters in here, to grow crops. But direct sunlight works better for crops, so I decided to put that on the roof. And then here we've got the outside area. Okay, I'm gonna put camo netting here to make it look better. This is my dock. I can put a jet ski and a boat there. Okay. So yeah, various designs that you can do. The X and O game is quite nice. The snakes and ladders, really not something I would play. If I really want to play something, I'll probably play the X's and O's, with someone. Just a little crate here. Another relaxing area here, and again, just to cover this area as much as possible to defend my base. And then I'm going to put more planters here, and this area I'm going to cover up with very high camo netting. But I mean, the camo netting that I want to make here takes 3 camo netting per wall, so I have to do some looting for that. But yeah, this will have a 3x4 camo netting wall here to cover my planters. And then I'm thinking about placing a sniping tower on here. Okay, I'm thinking about placing a sniping tower on here, cover it with a bit of walls. The tower normally takes four blocks, so I'll probably put it here and then put the walls around so that I can snipe anyone, whether they're coming from there, or there. I can just snipe everyone. And that's basically it, guys. Nothing special. And yeah, I could always have gone smaller, but I like the modern houses that don't have the slanted roofs. Like the Simon Cowell houses or the Reach houses, the white buildings, the white houses with the flat roofs. I really, really like that architecture. So that's why I try and go for that design. I could have probably made it look a bit better from the outside, but I wanted to cover my room. If I didn't put my room up there, then it would have probably been a bit better. But yeah, there's various designs that you can play with. And yeah, I've used most of the parts, okay, that you can use in Miscreated. I don't put up trophies. I don't think it's a achievement killing an animal. Just a personal preference of mine. But this is the dock, If I have a jet ski here, worst case scenario, I think I'm outnumbered, I can get away with a jet ski. I can escape from the back. Various options that I can use. But this will be the entertainment area. I can maybe extend the entertainment area, this section that I have in here that doesn't really pose, doesn't really have a purpose. But to do that, I'll have to remove the stairs. The reason I closed this up is because I put the staircase here. So yeah, to change that, I'll probably need to put the staircase there, to get up. And then what I can do is open up this section completely, that it's a bigger entertainment area. And yeah, I'm gonna have barbecues here, you know, with the people on the server where we can just talk. You know, maybe we make the barbecue upstairs, maybe we make it outside. You know, doesn't really matter, but we are gonna have fun and just chat to each other, you know, tell jokes. It's like a social event, you know, that we can just share stories with one another, you know, just to grow the community on the server a bit. And then next day, you know, we kill each other again and raid each other like always. But yes, you know, in the comments down below, you can give me a score out of 8. I give the base about a 7 out of 10, you know, for visuals and design. Like I say, if I didn't have that there, and you know, everything was a balcony up here, it probably would have looked better. Anthony also told me, you know, like if the balcony went right around at the top, it would have looked better. But I mean, guys, this isn't easy. Okay, I can just show you here with the base parts. I've already used 396 base parts. Okay, so on an official server, you're gonna have to go much smaller than this. On an official server, you'll probably have to cut out that altogether, you know, and then make your loot room there. And then building a garage for an armored truck will be difficult as well. But I think you'll be able to get away with, you know, cutting from this line from here all the way there. You can cut out everything. And then you can make, you know, you can make the workroom, you can make the safe room and your bedroom in there. You can make the garage, you know, and then put a watchtower on top of your garage, you know, to kill everyone. Or you can just make a very, very small, you know, beach house. It's dependent on you. And there's a lot of different locations. One thing I was a bit disappointed about is the fact you can see that the water is very, very shallow here. For a very long way, you know, and I could have made my base here, guys. You know, I could have built my base here so the vehicle can never get to the base, and that's, you know, that's your option. I could have made a base completely in the water so that I make sure, you know, my jet ski and my boat drifts very nicely, you know, here in the deep water, and then made like a freaking bridge, you know, like let's say my base is here. Then I could have made a foundation bridge, you know, all the way to the sand. You know, a long bridge to get out of the base, a long bridge to get to the garage. You know, there's a lot of different things I could have done. But I was focusing on the design. And again, if I have to move the plot sign, you know, I have to do everything over again and change the entire design again. Which I might do in the future, I don't know. I might do that in the future. Let me just drink a bit of water here. Take my medication. There we go. There we're fine again. But yeah, like I said, I'll give the base about a 7 out of 10. Okay? You guys can tell me what you think in the comments down below. But yes, the main thing that I wanted to show you guys is that you can make a home. You know, you can make a place that you love to come back to, and you can always play around with the design. I mean, just the fact that I told you guys what I told you now, I'm actually a bit sad that I didn't think about that, because it does add a lot of defense so that people can't use their vehicles, you know, to get on top of my base. But I mean, I could have made a massive tower there. You know, I can make a very nice beach house and medium, you know, medium base design like you will see with Anthony's base, or I could make like a, you know, a complete block of a base just for defenses. And yeah, that's the one thing. So looking back now, I wish I made the base, you know, very, very deep, because then, you know, my jet ski and my boat won't be lying here in the sand most of the time because, you know, the water is so low. And then of course you can make the foundations deeper, so you can close the foundation. You can always have 4 foundations in your crate, and then you close it off with foundations and put your boat here and your jet ski here, so that people have to destroy your jet ski or your boat, you know, if they want to do anything, but they can't steal it. And then when you want to use the jet ski or the boat, you just pack up one of the foundations, you know, and you go. But there you guys, hope you learned something. It took me quite a while. Will I change the base design again? I'm not sure. But yes. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys, have a slight idea of what the possibilities are. And then yes, we're gonna move to Anthony's base now and then do Avengers Death Star. But remember, guys, it's all up to you. And please, please, I'm probably gonna say this with Anthony's base and Avengers base. If you have a base that you're very, very proud of, it doesn't even have to be a base, guys. It can just be a little house. Okay, any design that you're very, very proud of that uses the official base parts, no fancy modded parts. If you want to showcase, how special you can do things on an official server, please let me know. I'll join the server, and I want to come look at your base. Base designs are really something that I'm interested in. I wish we could build swimming pools and a bunch of stuff. Do fishing, have poker games, stuff like that I think of, but if you've got base designs that you'd really like to show me, and please guys, it must be something unique, I'll definitely add another base showcase, later on with other designs that people have showed me in the entire Miscreated community, okay? But again, please, it must be official base parts so that we don't focus too much on the modded stuff, because with the modded stuff you can create something special, but it's a lot of people like playing on the official servers. So yes, let's move to the next base. Okay guys, the second base that I'd like to showcase is Anthony's base, and the reason I'm showing you guys 3 different bases is because of various factors. Like my base is what you can do when you completely focus on what your base looks like visually. You don't care about defenses really. Of course, my base isn't the best example. If you guys have got better examples, I'll join your servers and you can show me if you've got something unique. So Anthony's base is in the middle. Okay, now you must remember, because on my server we've got 400 base parts, you can build a bit higher and you can build a little bit wider. Okay, nothing extreme, just fine tweaks. So you won't be able to build this much, okay, on an official server, but it's still based on a medium defense, and a medium defense on an official server is a 5x5 base without outer walls. So if you want to utilize an official server to the max, you're going to build 5x5 foundations, get it as high as you can, and make sure your loot room is in the middle. Which is very, very, that's what you see on most servers, okay? You're just going to see a bunch of block bases. The fact that we've got extra parts with a little bit of extra height and a little bit of extra width gives us the versatility, to get a bit more creative. So what you guys are seeing here, and the server has got day and night cycles, guys. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys the bases, in different time zones because I'm quite busy. But in any case, there you can see Anthony's got a tower at the top. He's got like a larger area on the roof where he can cover everywhere around his base. He's got the outer defenses, okay, and then this is the best example of a garage that you can build, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is the most stress-free garage you can build if you want to build a garage for high vehicles. Okay, so we're just gonna take you through that quickly. And it doesn't take a lot of effort, but on my server, if you build those 0x4x4 roofs, you can upgrade them, and then when you've plated them, they are just as strong as a metal roof, okay, or metal wall. That's why we use those roofs and not platforms. So here you can see the garage takes any vehicle, okay? The 5-tonner is probably the highest vehicle that you can get in the game. So it takes the 5-tonner very comfortably. You can put a quad in here, you can put an armored vehicle in here. It's got more than enough space, like Anthony can drive, any vehicle in here and still, utilize it. And then he's got this entrance into his base, okay? So that people can't access his base from the garage. And the way you do this is basically just to put the columns, because if you put the columns in the middle, like we used to do, okay, and then support them in the corner. If a guy throws a C4 onto this wall, then he will destroy your column. Even if your column's upgraded, then it will destroy the column within 2 C4s and your roof will come crashing down. The fact that you're putting your columns down here, okay, on these 4 corners, lets you snap 4 roofs in the middle, and then you start snapping that roof, like you can see just a quarter of the roof, okay? So then you're basically balancing the roofs on the wall all the way, so that they can't come crashing down. But because your column is so far away from the wall, it will be much more difficult for the splash damage of the C4 to take out this column, okay? So in my opinion, this is the best and the easiest way to make a safe garage, okay? If you don't want to use the columns, I will show you a different method at my base. But okay, so let's just get out of here. I wanted to show you guys the garage because me and Anthony definitely put some thought into it. And the way it's separated from the base, you guys can see he can go into his base there and it's protected, okay? And the way it looks, it's still visually pleasing to me, okay? And if you've ever built a garage, you'll know that getting a garage to look, you know, to add to your base visually is quite difficult, but that is a very, very nice garage there. And then, yeah, we're going to enter the base, and all I'm basically going to do is give Anthony a chance to go through his thoughts on what he was thinking about with the base, you know, what was his focus point with the base. And we've already calculated it. My base takes about 40 C4s at the moment. His base takes about 80. And the Death Star that we're going to show you that Avengers built is probably going to take 160. So Anthony, just randomly, you know, tell us what you were focusing on when you started this base.
Hey guys, so first of all, I've ripped this down a couple of times. So the main focus point was trying to make it as confusing as possible, that if someone was to raid me, they would get lost easily. So looking at it logically, I tried to hide a lot of metal parts within walls. So for instance, if someone blows through this wall here, like if I was going to raid, I would chuck some C4 in the middle there. It would hit 4 walls at once, and then I'd blow these 4 walls away, and then behind those walls are 2 layers of full metal walls. So you need 4 C4 to blow away these 4 walls, then another 16 to blow away another metal wall behind that, and then another 16 to get anywhere else. So that will get you in. Worst case or best case, it'll get you to the second layer if you pop up, you know, use a car or something within this compound here to climb up, or jerry cans or whatever. Then you would need to use a lot more C4 to get up to the next level. So the whole point of this was making it, how would I rate it? Where's the weak points that I would pick, and then trying to use that as an advantage and place some deterrents or some metal parts behind that to get them to use as much C4 as possible. So another tactic I used was to split up the loot, so that if someone tackles this from the base from this end, they will have to use a lot more C4 to get to the other end of the base, which has more crates. So the crates are spread across the base as well, which you'll see a little bit more. This side here was designed so that if they blow away these walls here, the top walls will drop, and there's 2 layers of metal walls behind that as well. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so guys, clearly one thing that Anthony's talking about is deception, okay? Because when you look at this base, you will see that there's metal here. So even if you go through this, you don't want this metal to fall down. So this wall is not going to be an option for you. On an official server, this will also not be an option because it's got a metal door. Maybe the metal door on an official server will be your option because it only takes 8 C4s. But on our server, doors are just as strong as walls. Okay, so that's not really an option. But as soon as you've got metal walls, you deter the raider from going in that direction. So what Anthony basically did here is on purpose giving them an option that they think is the easiest, which will in actual fact be the hardest direction for them to take. And the inside of the base, because a lot of people on the server watch these videos as well, I'm not going to show you guys the inside of the base, okay? Because I don't really care, and I mean, whether you know what the inside of my base looks like or not, it will be very, very easy to figure out. This base, because it's got a lot of confusing passages in it, like literally if I walk in here, I get confused. It will be very difficult for you to get to the loot. And even if you get to the loot is in various sections. So even if the guy gets to a certain amount of crates, he's going to have to blow more. And an example that I've got, we raided that one base that we raided with a shit ton of loot. Me and Anthony got down to the center, and we thought that was that. It's very easy to think, okay, this guy's got a lot, let's leave it. And that's also a form of deception. Putting your crates at a place where the raider can get to it very easily and having the worst kind of loot there, so that it starts making them think, hey, maybe this is not worth the C4, and they let go. Instead of trying to blow your whole base away, and spending a lot of C4s to get to all the crates. So you're basically giving them, an image of what they can be looking forward to, and if, in their minds, if they think, we don't think this guy has got good enough loot, that can even be a deterrent from letting them blow your whole base apart. So this base has got a lot of various crates in it, which adds to a lot of C4. Like we say, we've estimated it at 80 C4s. Anything you wanted to add, Anthony?
So another tactic, just to add to what you were saying, is just remember, guys, the more crates you have in your base, the longer it's going to take someone to raid and open up all those crates, okay? And I know in the scheme of things, it's a couple of minutes to half knock down a crate, but just remember repair tools that they need, pickaxes, axes, all that sort of stuff, right? So the longer it takes, the more crates you've got, the longer it takes, the more chance you have of logging on and being able to counter the raid. So the longer it takes them to raid you, the more chance there is of you being able to counter that raid.
Exactly. And what I want you guys to do is every time you build a base, always from the start of the base, try and be in the raider's shoes. Okay, try and imagine to yourself how you're going to raid it, and try and see how difficult you can make it for yourself. Even though you know where all the loot rooms are, try and see how difficult you can make it for yourself so that they spend the maximum amount of C4s, to get all the loot, and make sure that your main loot room is absolutely the last point they can get to, okay? Like, absolutely. You must think of every route, every side that they can raid your base from, and then make sure, doesn't matter what side they choose, that, my main stuff is going to be the last point that they can get to. So yeah, like I've told you guys, it's difficult to build a base that's defensively sound, but visually very pleasing, if I can put it that way. The most beautiful bases I've seen in Miscreated is a freaking 2x4, 2 layers, like a little farmhouse, with the slanted roofs, with a little balcony. You could probably raid the thingy with 4 C4s, but the amount of other stuff that he adds to the base, his spikes and his punji traps and all the decorations that he adds to his base, gives it that that pleasing look. But when you go for a standard base, this is basically what you're aiming for. Trying to utilize your base parts as best as possible, and this outside layer is very important so that you can run around your base, so that you've got a safe haven. But even this takes a lot of parts, so you have to think about that as well. You have to think, am I going to have an outside layer to protect me when I'm at my base or not, and if I'm not going to do that, how am I going to try and still be safe by saving these base parts? Because I'm telling you, if you build an outside layer like this, it's at least 80 parts. On an official server, it will kill you, okay, making an outside layer, because it's all the foundations and it's all the walls. So either you have to sacrifice the foundations, and then have an uneven wall level. If you're not worried about perfection, then at least you're saving the foundations. But then you also have to compare for yourself. I used 80 parts, but it's only going to take 4 C4s to get through that layer, okay? So using this amount of parts just to, and they just use 4 C4s to still get into your base. The positive thing you can say is it will take 6 C4s to get through to the foundations. But when it comes to outer wall, the only value in it is that you're protected, okay? So, like I say, we don't have all the answers, and if you guys have got bases, on other servers which you really want to show people, I'll come to the server and I'll record it and you can put me through your thoughts. But when it comes to outer wall, if you guys can get a way to still be protected but use as little walls as possible or as little parts as possible, to rather focus the parts on defending the main loot, those are all viable aspects. But in any case, we're going to move now on to the Death Star, which is basically all about not wanting to be raided or deterring people, from the outside. So yeah, we're going to have a look at Avengers base now, and what that basically does is it breaks the raider before it even starts. Because if you look at a base that's completely focused on defenses, then you have to ask yourself, doesn't matter what that base has in there, is it worth it? The amount of work that I have to put in to craft 160 C4s, or to gather 160 C4s, or 200 C4s, I'm not, we're not sure, but it's going to take a shit ton of C4s. Is it worth it, for me to get in there? That is the main question. And if you're good with looting, you have to ask yourself that question. So in my personal opinion, the only reason I'll raid Avenger is because I want to. I'm not cared about the loot, it's a mission. Okay, so if you guys want to raid Avenger, it's a mission. And everyone that complains, like we've lost a few players because we've raided them. One thing you guys must remember is we had C4s on us. Anthony had 12, I had 12, Avenger had 12. You have to take the C4 to the base to raid that person, okay? Now, if the clan goes out of their way to do it offline, then you probably can't do anything about it. But you must know that the raiders are risking it as well. Because if they get killed, you get everything. You get their C4s, you get their vehicles, you get everything that they took to the raid. And if they come back with if they come back, every time a person attempts a raid and it gets counter-raided, the raiders lose a heck of a lot of work, okay? If you get raided, you also lose a lot of work, like the time it took you to gather everything, but it's vice versa. Both parties are putting in equal amounts of effort. Like if I, think about it this way, I'm going to show you Avengers base now, but think about it this way. If I join the server the first day, and Avenger joins the server the first day, and my only priority on that server is to gather C4s, and his only priority on the server is to make the Death Star, which is basically an unraidable base, or a base that's completely made out of metal parts. But when 2 or 3 months have passed, by the time he's finished his base, how many C4s do you think I can collect or gather if I just focused on C4s? So if you guys think about it that way, it roughly balances out. Now, the weaker your base is, the less it balances out, okay? Because, or not really, no, I won't say really. It took me about a week to reconstruct that base. If I had to, if I have to craft all the parts again, maybe a week and a half. But for a person to gather 40 C4s to raid both my safe rooms, it's probably going to take a week and a half. So the only thing I want to leave you, before we go to Avengers Base, is to understand that there's a positive and a negative to everything. Both parties are risking, are putting in the same amount of work. Again, if cars bother you, run around with grenades and molotovs and grenade launchers. There's always a counter to anything, and I really wanted to mention it because the biggest problem with Miscreated is that people rage quit due to getting killed, due to getting raided, due to being driven over, due to getting angry. And what you must understand is, in most situations, both parties, have risked or have worked the same amount of time to get into that situation. The only little advantage that you're going to get is with PvP skill. And that's about it. But yeah, let's move to Avengers Base, and thank you, Anthony. Thank you for your time. And yeah, good luck, guys. Like I say, my base is 40, his base is about 80, and yeah, you guys will see what a base looks like when he does want to get raided. Okay, guys, we are at the third and final base design, which is basically to demotivate any raider as much as possible and to make sure that people risk a shit ton of time of their time and a shit ton of resources and a lot of planning. Because one thing you must remember is, if you're in a clan, if you're alone, you can face some difficulties, but with this kind of design, Anthony's base is right there, okay? We've got another clan member, Miss Charm, right there, and I'm right there down below. So for a clan to raid Avenger, because his base is quite centralized here, it will take them a bit of planning not to be counter-raided, okay? Because we're basically coming in from all angles. Even if they're trying to cover Anthony's base and my base, they do not know which sides we are going to flank them from, okay? Because clearly if I come in, I'm either going to use the hill, or I'm going to use these trees, or I'm going to use those trees. There's multiple points of cover that we can use. And even if they've got vehicles, grenade launchers and everything, they'll have to do some planning because the raid will take some time. And if you've got clan members from different regions, that is probably the most important thing for you, to make sure that the chances of you being raided offline, and that's probably the best kind of defense, because if you've got 4 or 5 clan members from different regions of the world, then at least someone in your clan will be online, which will make the possibility of you being raided offline very, very difficult. So that's another thing for you guys to consider if you're thinking about, building up a clan that would help you to be able to defend your base if it ever gets raided. Is it impossible for someone to raid us when none of us are online? Yes, but the fucking possibilities are very, very low. So in any case, this is what Avengers Base looks like from outside. Later on, he probably will upgrade all the walls, okay? He will probably drag metal walls here to cover the outside, but the magic is inside. So let's go inside quickly. This is just a basic defense, 3 walls high instead of 2 walls high like with Anthony's. So much more difficult to jump over it. Gonna lock that. And of course, the big thing about your outer walls is you can use the yard. Okay, that's also a nice thing, is that you can use the yard to store tents and vehicles and stuff like that. But yeah, the reason why we call it the Death Star is because there's various ways for him to access the base, basically with that tower, getting in there. And then with this structure here as well, there's a structure there. And this, again, because of our roofs, it's going to take 16 C4s to get in here. From the top, maybe, if you're coming in from this side, the metal gauge takes a heck of a lot of C4. So, yeah, I'm going to give it over to Avenger just to let him tell you guys what his thoughts were while he was constructing this base.
Alright, so sorry about the wolves, but we have to deal with that. All right. So basically, as you already said, from the outside, it looks like a normal cube design, right? You got everything here to cover up the sides. It's not really raid proof because as you know, normal walls only take 4c4. So let's say somebody drives up here with a vehicle, well, 4c4 and they are inside the yard, I'd say. So it's not really a great defense, but it serves as a distraction or let's say a protection from basically eyesight, right? You can park vehicles here. This is what I have currently in my base, and nobody can see that from the outside at the moment. And yeah, I won't keep them here in the same place, so don't even bother throwing grenades at me. They are moving around all the time. Then we have different compartments basically. If you want to be really safe, you basically have to spread out your loot, right? And what I did here is, well, every base should have a compartment for a car, or maybe maybe 2 cars. It depends on what you want to keep. And I'm a fan of the army truck, so I built something for that. In order to get to this car, you will have to spend at least, I think, 32 or 35 C4. Not sure about how many C4 Metal Gate takes. I think 16, like every other part.
No, definitely more. I'm thinking it's between 20 and 30.
Ah, okay, yeah, all right. The trick here is I have one more behind that, so yeah, that adds up. Anyway, it's not really about this here. What I wanted to have is a secure system. Oh crap, storm. Anyway, it's a kind of more secure system because every base has its upper roofs accessible through these things here, right? Normal stairs. And yeah, I know people try to use the old trick to keep them wooden in order, if they get raided, it might get blown up too. That doesn't really work. You would be surprised this stuff actually is quite durable if you don't throw the C4 right on center. So that doesn't always work. What I thought about was basically connecting the loot room to these things by a bridge. So you can only get there via bridge, or you blow everything up. And as you can see, this is all metallized. Inside of this, there's a, well, I don't want to really reveal that, but there's a slight construction thing going on that makes it harder. You will have to waste a ton of C4 to get through this here. All right, let me grab a bridge real quick so I can show you what I mean. We get to this thing later. Where do I have it? I'm gotta pick the right one, otherwise we are fucked.
Yeah, Vince, I don't think it's a top secret, but I think it's a good tip for them.
Actually, yeah, they will see it later anyway, as soon as we get inside the other compartment.
Yeah, so what I've seen, guys, on other official servers is that guys who don't want to get raided, they build like multiple towers, but what they do is they put like in 10 metal walls here, okay, right next to each other, because they know the C4 splash damage gets less and less, okay? So they make sure that the guys have to use as much C4 as possible for this structure to start falling down, because the walls, the metal walls inside, are so widely spread out. So if you're worried that a guy can from the outside, you know, keep letting the stuff fall down, then putting other metal parts inside, you know, so that if I destroy this corner, this wall inside here will still support the structure. That again just wastes more, okay? Because if I could only use 16 here, then as soon as he's put a metal wall inside, I have to use another 16, you know, just to let the inside fall down. So again, that is the extreme. I don't really like it when people do that, but I've seen on official servers that they just stack metal parts, you know, like there will be 8 here, 8, you know. That is a method. But again, with this construction, even if I place C4s here on the corner, that's not to say everything will fall down, because it can still be supported by these two outer walls that I didn't get to, and of course the roof that acts like a metal wall, and then of course the center part. If he uses like especially if I'm blowing on this corner, if he's got a long wall here in the middle, okay, I'm gonna have to use more C-force to get rid of the wall in the middle. But if he uses a thin metal wall, which you can also pick up, then, you know, it doesn't matter what side I blast from, that little metal wall in the middle, keeping up the platform, is going to use more C4. In any case, Avenger, you can carry on.
Right. That's exactly what's going on in there. Okay, let me just build up this thing real quick. So basically, the thought behind this system is a bridge connecting these things with the tower, which is the main loot room, right? Now you have to climb up here. I hope you don't fear height. Yeah, all right. Okay. So basically that's it.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only direct way to access this. I don't know how they want to do it without cars, without spending too much C4. This is where everything is, and yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it. You always have to think about is it worth raiding this crap? I mean, what will you find here? Weapons, right?
Exactly, yeah. And again, if it's on an official server, guys, he wouldn't have needed to put the wall down there. He could have just placed the bridge, because the bridge will enable you to get to your highest point in the tower. But because our server allows you to, you know, build higher, and the bridge didn't suffice for that, so that's why he's putting the wall up there for the bridge to get high enough.
Right. Yeah, and that's basically everything that's going on here. And as you said before, if we let's go inside here, not only because of the acid rain, but what's going on inside the tower is basically the same thing that's going on inside here. As you said, I used the thinner metal walls, so it doesn't matter from which side you place the C4. This won't take 100% damage, which makes you waste even more C4.
Exactly. If the guy's coming from this side, this will almost take no damage at all, guys.
Right. Yeah, even if he comes from here, it doesn't really matter, because this whole thing here is missing. So it doesn't take... I don't know how much damage it takes, but not as much as it would have been like a 3x4 wall or something like that.
Yeah, it will still be a massive reduction. And while we're going through, guys, one more tip. Avenger packed up the bridge there. Please, for anyone that's new, do not pack up something that can fall on top of anything. Okay, so if you're packing up an item, make sure there's nothing below it. Okay, always. First and foremost, make sure there's nothing below it, because if you pack up, like, let's say there's a vehicle in here, and I pack up a platform, you know, or a roof, the box will make the vehicle disappear. Okay, like once I packed up a metal gatehouse gate, okay, and there was just my flag was on top of it. And when I packed up the metal gatehouse gate, which takes a lot of effort, and you know it's quite rare to drag that to your base, just the fact that the flag was on top made the metal gate disappear as well. So please take that into consideration, because if you're on a populated server and you work your butt off for a vehicle, you know, and just because you packed up a base part, it, you know, disintegrates your vehicle, you are not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it happens, right? Okay, so let's try to not die to the acid rain. The other thing is, well, this building just serves as, I don't know, I wanted to have something for looks too, not just like the basic cube design, right? And so I decided to build something like that. I can store crates in here. I wouldn't put anything valuable in here because it's not as safe as the tower, of course, but you can use it like for maybe a base defense system or something like that, because as you can see from the outside, I've got windows here. I can pretty much cover the whole base. If someone comes in here or from this side, or just like walks around in here and tries to find some spot to throw more C4, I have all freedom in the world to actually take them on.
Yeah, I feel you never want to put windows on your first level, but second, third, you know, from above the first level, I think windows are always a good idea to have sight of your area.
Right. Yeah, because you can actually abuse the windows. You can squeeze yourself in somehow. If you're patient enough, I wouldn't recommend it because you can actually die while doing so. But yeah, there's a way. And people, people, right? They
Grenade launcher definitely overpowered if you can get the range roughly right.
Yeah. Okay, close the door behind you. So this is basically the last thing. Because we called it the Death Star, right? I thought it would be a nice gimmick to actually have a throne room. So there it is.
This is cool. Yeah, guys, Avenger is known as the king on the server because he's never literally been raided, and he's always had the base with the most metal parts. So this is quite cool. Yeah. This is quite cool that he has a throne room.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I mean, if someone comes here, right, and I don't know, we demand metal parts, and people can come here and like beg for mercy or something. I don't know.
Sit again. I want to take a screenshot. Maybe I can use it at some point.
All right. Yeah, who knows? Got the wrong outfit, but whatever.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Let me close this off. Oh, no, wait, we don't.
And yes, guys, look at this. You can make this a safe room as well. So the metal gates take a lot more C4. The metal gatehouse gates, and then the metal gate takes a lot more C4. So if you are willing to drag enough parts to your base, then this is a very cool garage. You can literally make this your garage or your loot room. Which protects your vehicle a heck of a lot more, and it protects your loot a heck of a lot more. And he literally, he literally placed the gatehouse gates above here for maximum resistance.
Yeah, and as you can see, you got the whole view, even from here. Yeah. You can see pretty much everything. And the last line of defense, hold on, the acid rain is killing me. So, not good. So let's just go over here quickly. If you go up here, it's completely madness. You have to open up this here, and then you have the ability to overview the whole valley. I'd say I can see Anthony's base, I can see Jam's base, I can probably I can't see yours, but you can do everything from here, like shoot grenades, stuff like that.
Yep.
Right. I have to get inside here because otherwise I will die.
Yeah, the storms are very lethal on our server, guys. The only reason I'm not dying fast is because I've got the 63% resistance because of the alien helmet, giving me 50% acid rain resistance. Alien helmet OP. The fact that so many UFOs are dropping at the moment, I wish I could stop that, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, that's basically it. So if you're willing to drag 1,000 metal parts over the course of maybe 6 months, good luck. If you make it, you have my respect. Or maybe I will just feel sad, as I feel for myself.
Yeah, on a server that's not too populated, you'll still struggle if other people are looking for metal parts. But late in the week, I'll definitely do a metal part guide. And this week, guys, I'm getting back to basics. Okay, we're gonna ignore the parts a bit. Part 1, part 2, day 1, day 2. I'm gonna get back to basics, make the videos as short as possible, as much cutting as possible, so that there's no downtime or where I get lost with my explanations. So this week we're gonna do a money guide. Even for official, okay, my server has got some settings which are different, but I'm gonna still try and explain it to you guys like you're on an official server. So we're gonna do a full money guide, a full metal spawn guide, and then a full loot guide, and then either this week or next week I'll be starting with the ultimate guide for 2021. Where the big difference will be that the videos will be a lot shorter, okay? A lot more to the point with no jibber jabber in between, You guys know I've got a problem with just talking all the time. So it will be a lot more to the point, a lot more cut, and yeah, I'm going to call it 2021 because next year I'm focusing on other stuff, okay? I'll still have the server, I'll still, spend time with my clan and on the server, but I am going to create another South African server where I'm going to showcase all the cool mods that the modders have created, so we'll have the cool vehicles and everything. It will still be hardcore, but the fun element of it will be just as much as the hardcore element of it. It will be third person, okay? So no serious business, just a heck of a lot of fun with intense PvE threats, and then with all the cool cars, and it will be built anywhere so that we don't have to worry about, changing roofs to take 16 C4s or anything like that. So that you guys can more or less focus on taking over areas, and that's the server where we will split up. If the server doesn't fall up and it doesn't take all my attention, then I'll be doing the SA server, and my clan will be basically, against each other on that server. Just complete fun, that will be the point of that server, just to have a heck of a lot of fun. And then this server, as long as a few people support it, I don't think it will ever go down. And I'll be doing small changes to the server every month to improve it. I am going to extend the Iron Sons network so that you can buy military clothing and basically, like all the items in the game. So yeah, we're making fine tweaks all the time, and I'm quite happy where we are. But yeah, if the server falls up, then I'll be extremely happy. But if the guys that can't step up to the plate, then I'll definitely make a server that we can enjoy more and have more of a challenge. Because if my clan challenges each other on another server, I think we'll have a heck of a lot more fun, because then we know, even if there's just 4 people on the server, we'll have action at every drop. There will be raiding. And that's the most important key for me. It's not about how many people is on a server. It's what kind of people are on a server. And me and Avengers definitely a witness that even with 5 active players, the server can still be a heck of a lot of fun. And that will be the purpose for the other server, And Loki's vehicles will definitely be a focus point for me. And then all the mods that I feel adds a lot to the game. I don't really care if the vehicles are buggy at all. It's the fun factor that I'm going to focus on. But in any case, guys, I've shown you all 3 base designs. You can decide what you want to focus on. Personally, if I had to join a full official server now, I will hide my base. I'll make a very, very small base in a very isolated area where no one ever goes. And remember, the smaller your base is, the easier it is to make it complete metal. Okay, so you might think a 5x5 base is the best idea. But if you think about the time you have to spend to make that box completely metal, it takes a lot of work. Where I can basically make it 3x3, and then I can get the metal parts for it a lot quicker, and at least be sure that people have to spend 32 C4s, to get in there. So smaller isn't always worse. And the fact that your base can be hidden very easily is very important. None of us can hide our bases. It doesn't really matter where we build them. But let's use an extreme. If you build a one foundation, the smallest freaking base you can build, there's a lot of places you can hide it, guys. There's a heck of a lot of places you can hide it. And again, deception is a very, very big thing. Because if a clan sees your base, the need to raid it won't really be there, because they won't think you've got a lot of loot. Okay, but a base like this on a full server, clans will definitely, target it, because they think the payoff is going to be massive. So there's a lot of deception which you can do, like we spoke at Anthony's base, weakening the one side of your base so that the guy must think he must go in from that side, but in actual fact, that side is actually going to cost him the most amount of C4s to get to your loot. Various ways to think about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm gonna get back to basics. The reason I took so long to upload a video is because we were discussing things all the time. I helped Avenger. He helped me quite a bit at my base with with problems that we ran into, which we can help you guys with. And yeah, from next week, I'll basically just be putting out the content to explain to you guys as much as I can. And I know I've said this before, but I'm honest, guys, with Cyberpunk 2077 coming out and Scum moving in the right direction, and whatever's coming next year, the reason I'm going to do my final ultimate guide is to make sure that I've said everything there is, because again, with what I've learned the last month or two, after 3,000 hours, I still learn new things, okay? Especially the trader and stuff like that has come into the picture. So, yeah, I will be teaching you guys absolutely everything I've learned over 3,000 hours. And then I'll be moving on. Like I say, I hope the server falls up, but that's not going to be the deciding factor for me. If the server falls up, I'll put all my focus into it. If it doesn't fall up, I'll still keep it alive for the guys that are playing on the server. And I'll make the fun server, for us to interact with each other more and have more fun. And then basically, I'll start focusing on Cyberpunk and Scum next year. So if you're wondering why the hell are you calling it 2021, it's because if there's not a major update next year, that will be my final guide for Miscreated. And again, the comments are always there, if you want to ask me something. And again, to finalize this video, if you've got a base that you want to showcase and you feel you've used what Miscreated gave you in a very, very creative manner, please let me know. I'll join your server, I'll give you a chance to showcase your base. For us, even if you have a base that can be rated with 4 C4s, but it looks really good, let me know. I want to come see it and show people what's possible. But yeah, for the servers that are very modded, with a lot of custom parts, like I did do that one server, with the Tron suits and everything like that. Let's keep to the basics, guys. Let's keep to the original base parts and try and show people what they can do. In any case, if you like this video, like always, do me a favor and click that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to see what the last guide that I make does, because you can't wait for me to make shorter videos, then click that sub button. And the bell button always helps that you stay notified. Have fun, guys. I hope you have a great week. Cheers.